Hey, welcome back to the Junior Small P channel, everybody. Thank you for taking part in the discussion today, which is going to be on, as the title says, numismatic versus bullion coins. The background noises you're going to hear, all the clutter, is the little kitten that we recently adopted, and she's attacking a little ball as it rolls around. So, pardon the noise. Okay. A lot of times people like to discuss this topic, and it comes up quite a bit, especially with new investors with gold and silver products. And it's the question of numismatic coins, that being coins whose value exceeds the actual metal content of the coin itself. And then there's the bullion coins, whose value is solely based on the content of the coin, the weight of precious metals that are in it. Of course, there's the spot charge, etc., and sometimes some rare bullion coin dates, which might add a little bit. But the point of this video is going to be numismatics versus bullion. And the only reason we have the ultra high relief coin here is it's really the only good representation I have of a coin whose value far exceeds its bullion weight. So its numismatic value, its collectible value, it's the value placed upon it because of its rarity and its condition, is somewhere around $2,600 to $3,500, depending on where you look. And if I were to get it graded, which we're going to talk about that, the grading processes. So I'm going to give you my opinion. I'm going to let you take it for what it's worth. If you're a new gold investor or you're a current gold investor, if you're using gold or silver, for that matter, as an investment vehicle, as a place to park wealth, to move it, to wait, an inflation hedge, a percentage of your portfolio, I'm going to tell you that my recommendation would always be to avoid the numismatics, coins whose value exceeds their metal content. If you like to collect them for your own pleasure, for historical keepsakes, what have you, go for it. That's the reason I own this coin. I've made videos on it before. The ultra high relief's a beautiful coin. There's a lot of history to it. I get a lot of enjoyment out of owning it for the reason that I just said. And I understand that I bought it for more than what gold was going for at the time, and I could currently sell this gold coin. I could sell the ultra high relief and double my position in gold. I could sell it and end up buying two 1 ounce eagles for the price of that one coin, thus doubling my gold holdings. Now let's talk about, it's so difficult to kind of address it without offending some people, because some people take this really personally, and a lot of them have these beliefs that are steeped in almost a fear of gold confiscation. Let's boil it down to that. That's one of their biggest fears. That's one of the biggest selling points for people with the numismatic gold. They tell you that it can't be confiscated from the government, this and that. To me, that's a bunch of fear mongering in order to move a lot of times coins that would be otherwise undesirable. Now, and when I say undesirable, I mean undesirable for as an investment in gold. If you look at a lot of the coins that are hawked as investments that are numismatics, they're not pure. They don't have a specific weight. The weights vary. They're confusing sometimes. For example, I used to own a lot of British sovereigns, and those were 0.2354 troy ounces of gold. So it was difficult math to figure out how much gold was in the coin. Then you had things like the Dutch Wilhelmina, there was the Guilders, there's a whole bunch of different foreign old coins. That's the kitty. And then you have to look at the old St. Gaudens. So the old St. Gaudens coins, the ones made before 1933, 1932, 33s are illegal. But those early gold coins there, and even all the $20 gold pieces from the past that are kind of sold as an investment vehicle, they themselves don't have the full gold content, for easy math's sake, of a modern bullion coin, which is, we know there's 1 troy ounce of gold inside this coin. There's a troy ounce in here, so it's easy math. It's easy to figure out how much gold you have and to calculate it with the gold prices that are on the market that day. Same with the quarter ounces, the half ounces of these modern bullion coins, whether it's Krugerians, Mabels, etc. This coin here, 1 troy ounce even. So that one's even an easy math. However, we've already talked about it does have some numismatic value placed upon it. I personally am not willing to pay the numismatic premiums that come with these supposed collectible coins in order to protect myself from government confiscation of gold. Number one, I don't see that ever happening. And if they did, I believe it would become quite chaotic in both the political and the social aspects of implementing that law. Don't even touch anything here. You need to go, you're not even supposed to be on the table. Say bye-bye. There you go. You go back down on the floor and go play. All right. That was not anticipated. All right, so where were we? We were talking about the implementation of such a political act, or whatever you want to call it, legislation such as that, gold confiscation. Number one, if they did it today, it wouldn't be just on bullion products. If you look back at history, the last gold confiscation that they tried to do, it was one of the lowest complied with laws in United States history. I think something like less than 40% of the country even complied with it. There was only 1 conviction on that law. It was done as an example with some poor farmer in like Illinois, and they arrested him and fined him 10 grand, give him 10 years in prison. Disgusting, tyrannical operation at the hands of the U.S. government. What a blight on our history that is. No, kitty, go away. So, if they were to do it today, it would be for extreme economic duress reasons, and they would want all the gold. They're not just going to want the bullion products. They're going to want the numismatics as well. And you'll be extremely limited in moving those numismatics if you even kept them and tried to hold on to them. I don't see it happening. I think with the powers of legislative fiat and taxation, they have found a way to corner gold owners, holders of gold, and corral them into positions that they want them to be in without physically confiscating metals. So to me, the whole confiscation theory that people have, it doesn't even matter anymore. Don't bring it up. It's a null and void. It's basically a hypothetical that you're coming up with that may or may not exist, and most likely, chances are, won't exist. So people should not be coerced or convinced into buying numismatics based on a hypothetical that may or may not happen and most likely will not happen. I hope you followed that. It was more complicated than I thought it would be trying to say that part. All right. Now, bullion coins are easy to get, easy to find, easy to know the values placed on them, and most importantly, they're going to be easier to sell because you're not going to have to sit there and debate with a buyer what the value is of that coin. If I needed cash, they always say that something's only worth what you can get for it within 24 hours. Well, I know that I can sell an ounce of gold, a 1 ounce bullion coin, within 24 hours, anywhere, to certain individuals, certain places, and certain outlets for spot value. Try getting $2,800 to $3,000 for that coin right now. It's going to be hard to find a buyer that can that's going to give you the money that is above and beyond the actual spot value. They're going to debate, the condition of the coin, the scarcity. They may or may not want it. So, and that's just using this coin as an example. Take like a 1932 coin or 20-something, 1927 St. Gaudens. And it may or may not be graded, and even if it is graded, there's a lot of skepticism that goes behind some of the current grading processes. And we'll get into that in a minute, so try to remind me. I hope you're following this train of thought here in this discussion. But so my point is, these are easier to get your cash out of quickly. A numismatic coin is going to be harder to turn for dollars, and you're most likely not going to get out of it if gold, is pretty much flatlined. Let's say, for example, you buy a 1927 St. Gaudens, and you buy it as a gold investment, and you bought it for $1,800, and gold was $1,000. So you spent, or let's say gold was $1,100 or $1,200. So you've got $400, $500, $600 into that coin above and beyond the gold value. Now you go to sell it. You need money down the road. Gold hasn't gone up that much, or it's stayed the same. Whatever the situation is. Let's say it's not at that value, and you go to sell it, and you're like, I paid $1,800, $1,900 for this back then, and you're trying to convince someone to buy it. Like, well, look, most jewelry shops, most coin exchanges, a lot of times pawn shop, you name it, any outlet you're going to go to, they're in the driver's seat because they know that you need cash right then and there, and they're not going to give you the exact market value or assessed value of that coin. I can guarantee it. I know a guy that runs a gold and silver exchange, buys antique coins all day long, and he does not buy them for what people think they're really going to be worth and what they're going to get out of it. Okay. Grading coins. I didn't get my coin graded. I didn't pay the money or the membership. I understand where it comes from, having like a third party grade a coin and judge its condition for you. That way everyone's on the same page as to what the condition is of that coin. There has been articles written on this. You can look them up. There's been discussions on this. A lot of times coins have been through some of these grading houses. And let's say, for example, I send this one in, and it comes back as a MS69. I'm not going to name any grading houses. I'm sure you know who they are. And they've all been caught with these types of situations. I could pop the coin out of that thing without damaging it at all, send it back in, and get a completely different grade. They did, a group did a test of this, and they took multiple products, multiple coins, and sent them through these different grading houses to have them graded. And they would take the same coins and send them to the same grading houses multiple times for grading, and almost every single time received dramatically different grades. And different grading houses would grade the same coin absolutely differently. So I don't place a whole lot of value on the grading of these coins. And I think when companies start coming up with early release or pre-release or first strike, I think those are scams as well. Especially the first strike claims. You're going to see those. You're going to see people market coins as a first strike, and it's graded on eBay or on other places. It's a scam. If you talk to the U.S. Mint even released a statement on this claim. There's no guarantee that a coin you got that says first strike was one of the early strike. Because the U.S. Mint will strike, 10,000, 100,000 coins before, the release date and pushing them out. All it means is those coins were ordered early and arrived before some of the other coins. You might have a coin labeled a first strike that was the 200,000th coin struck with that die setup, as far as this new design. Not maybe the same dies, but it might be one of the 200,000th strikes of the series. Whereas a coin, because they just all mixed up, the U.S. Mint doesn't track or label and put coins based on when they were struck into different categories or places. I mean, they put them in the product packaging and then get ready to ship them. That's it. So first strike, scam. I don't think it has any value, and I think people know that and realize it. And if anything ever happened economically to where you're needing to move gold products or get out of them or coins, whatever, and values came down or for numismatics, the first strike thing is out the window. You're not going to get the money for it. The whole proof-like thing, what does that even mean? It's either proof or it's not. Again, I think that's another little thing they're trying to attach to graded coins to kind of get more value and push the grading process. Because, they're corralling guys. These grading companies are corralling people that own numismatic coins, such as the ultra high relief, into getting them graded. because they're like, oh, maybe it's like playing the lotto. Maybe I have a proof like. And you know, this coin here that I have, it was eligible for first strike. I got the receipt to prove it. So do I need PCGS to even tell me it was a first strike? I got the receipt. I ordered this, you know, 35 minutes into the first day. So this qualifies as what they would say a first strike, but I never sent it in to get it graded as a first strike. Whatever. So the whole grading process to me for numismatics, and then there's the whole thing, you've seen them, I have some. I don't even understand why people grade some of the bullion coins. You know, it doesn't really matter. I have some and they're MS69. It's like, so what? You know, you could bust them out of the case. It's still an ounce of gold. And I don't think the grading adds any value to them. All right, that's probably going to stir some feathers and tick off some coin guys. Look, I've been a coin collector since I was 6 years old. I remember getting my first U.S. Silver Eagle. I had a complete Morgan collection as a kid. You know, rest their soul. I sold them long ago. Please, I know, I don't need to hear it. I could knock my head on the wall right now for it. I had a lot of great coins, and they have since moved to other places and done other things. But this video's topic was based on numismatics versus bullion. And if you're going for gold, you're going for silver, and you're going for an investment, and you want the most for your money, the biggest bang for your buck, you want to get the most weight in gold for your money, you're gonna go towards bullion. Just do that, make that decision, go for the bullion. And if you want numismatics, you want to collect coins, you want to have a hobby, have some nice little safe decorations, go for it. Get some numismatics such as the ultra high relief. That's really it. Hope that helped steer some of you in the right direction. And before we leave, let's pop out the ultra high relief, take a quick look at it, because I know you guys love this coin as much as I do. It is a beautiful coin. It's one heck of an ounce of gold. I mean, you could really see the difference there. We're going totally off topic now, but in the faces, there's the ultra high relief is so much more depth to it. And the back, of course, is more beautiful, I think, than the standard bullion. I wish they would incorporate this back on all U.S. bullion. I wish they'd just crank out this coin as bullion and replace this with it. That's the way to go. All right. A lot of opinions today I'm throwing at you. Hope you all have a good day. Thank you again for joining the Junior Small P channel. And feel free to take part in the discussion below. +1 the video, share it, like it, and subscribe. Thanks.